your overall tabletop issue was
The self-sabotage.
self-sabotage, yeah. And you were saying you self-sabotage yourself in numerous different ways.
In many ways.
Yeah.
In business, in relationships, in weight, you name it.
Okay, yeah, many different ways. And you've known for a while this is a pattern of yours.
I have known for a while. I've even have gone to therapy to try to attack it, and it seems to rear its ugly head again and again.
Right, right. And then, as far as events go, you mentioned one with your sister.
Right.
When you were 9?
Let's see. I was probably 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Okay.
Yeah. And I've got several, probably from 9 or 10 till I left for college.
Okay.
And so the one I stated before was that it was time for bed. My sister had been fed and she'd done all her other things, but apparently I had been remiss in my duties because I didn't get the bath done in time and get her to bed appropriately, and I didn't know it was my role, I guess, to bathe her, but apparently it was, and I got punished because I didn't take that responsibility.
So you didn't even know?
I didn't even know, and
Right.
I felt like I thought I was doing the right thing, but I still got in trouble.
Right, yeah.
So I guess maybe I've come up with this thinking that why bother?
Why bother?
It's hard, even though I try and I
Yeah.
want to be responsible and conscientious, it's probably not going to work.
Right. So why bother is a core belief. It's probably not going to work out as a core belief.
Correct.
Yeah, around that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, think of another event around that same age, 10, thereabouts.
I can think of one a little earlier. Does that
Yes,
help?
better, yes. What do you feel in your body when you think about these events? Where is it in your...
It's kind of in this upper, kind of all the
Okay.
way kind of my throat, my chest area.
Right.
So the other one I was recalling was that I was probably 5 or 6, and my brother and I are just a year apart in age. So we were napping together. We shared a bedroom, and that was it was nap time. And again, I was the conscientious, diligent one. I would always go in there, do what I was supposed to do, and my brother was apparently clowning around because I was asleep, and all of a sudden I hear the bedroom door slam open, and we both got in trouble, got punished because we weren't taking a nap. And my brother, apparently was awake, and and I was asleep, and I didn't know it, but I still was aroused from a deep sleep to be punished for not taking a nap.
Okay.
So
Sit there for a moment with that, because I can see there are lots of feelings coming up around that. So we'll just tap on that one.
okay.
Even though I said we wouldn't tap on any. We was fine then. But I can't leave a little 6-year-old girl sitting there feeling so bad. So just describe it simply. Even though I was woken up from my nap to be punished,
Even though I was woken up from my nap and to be punished,
and I didn't know I'd done anything wrong,
and I didn't know I'd done anything wrong,
I totally and completely accept myself.
I totally and completely accept myself.
I love that suffering little girl,
I love that suffering little girl,
and I love me as I am now.
and I love me as I am now.
I love me just the way I am now.
I love me just the way I am now.
Self-sabotage and all.
Self-sabotage. I'm working on it.
And I love that little girl.
I love that little girl.
If you could talk to her now, what would you say?
Oh, goodness. You're going to get me started here.
Yeah, tap it, and just talk to her.
What would I say? I would tell her that she was a good person.
Yeah,
I would tell her that it wasn't her responsibility,
yeah,
that she was being given responsibility that wasn't hers.
yes,
And that I still do that today, and so that if she understands that, then maybe when she grows up, she won't feel that sense of burden and responsibility.
Now that's all that's logical. What would you tell those
I
girls in your
Well, I have
middle
to
of her
start
heart?
with logic. I can't help it. What would I tell her in her
Right.
heart? I would
Yeah.
still tell her she was good
She was good.
and that she didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, so just
And it was okay to be upset.
good.
It was okay to resent that and understand that she didn't do anything wrong. But I think just being able to be angry about it, just being able to cry, being able to know how to digest that injustice for her. So I just hold her until it's okay.
Yeah. So imagine holding her right now. Just imagine she's right here and you're holding her, sitting on your lap, you're talking to her. Tell her that in the first person. Say it to her.
It's okay. You're okay. You didn't do anything wrong.
How about I love you? And you're lovable.
I love you. I'm lovable.
You're doing your best.
You're doing your best.
But she really was doing it. She was trying so hard.
Yeah. Was trying so hard.
And tell her that it was good enough, even though she didn't get the message from others.
And you need to know that it was good enough.
Yeah.
What you were doing was good enough. And your love didn't good enough.
Yeah, it really was good enough.
It really was good.
Yeah, what you were doing was wonderful,
What you were doing was wonderful.
even though other people couldn't see it at the time.
Even though other people couldn't see it.
So let her see you as you are now as an adult. That you turn out strong, you're capable.
Yes, I'm strong. Okay. Very strong. Very. Had to be.
Let her see that. See how strong you are. Who you are.
I think it's important for me to also let her know it's okay to be weak.
Yes. Yeah. It's okay to be weak. Yeah. Let's do the 9 gamut on that.
Okay.
So, tap the gamut point, close your eyes and open them. Keep your head steady, eyes hard down to the left. Eyes hard down to the right. Eyes a slow, big circle. It's okay to be weak.
It's okay to be weak.
It's okay to be me.
It's okay to be me.
Hold my finger. It's okay to be weak.
It's okay to be weak.
It's not okay to be weak.
It's not okay to be weak.
You have to be strong all the time.
You have to be strong all the time.
You never be weak,
You can never be weak,
even when you are.
even when you are.
I love and accept myself
I love and accept myself
when I'm weak,
when I'm weak,
when I'm strong.
when I'm strong.
I love and accept that little girl.
I love and accept that little girl.
I love and accept me
I love and accept me
when I'm weak,
when I'm weak,
when I'm strong.
when I'm strong.
Love and accept myself
Love and accept myself
whether I'm weak
whether I'm weak
or whether I'm strong.
or whether I'm strong.
Other people don't accept me
Other people don't accept me
unless I'm perfect.
unless I'm perfect.
I have to be perfect
I have to be perfect.
or what?
I'm
Deep
a
breath.
failure.
Or I'm a failure. Yeah, I have to be perfect.
Mhm.
Absolutely perfect. So just having her do her homework and feeding her was enough.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be perfect. Otherwise, all the rest was nothing.
Not just me taking a nap and making sure my brother took a nap.
Right. Yeah.
And that he was behaving, she was behaving, and the people that work for me are doing the right thing at work. And
Yeah.
my kids are doing the right thing, all of it.
Yeah. So I have to be perfect.
I have to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect.
I don't want to be perfect.
I'm tired of trying to be
I'm
perfect.
tired of trying to be perfect. It's exhausting.
Yes, it's very exhausting. That's
Yeah.
why I eat, to get energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes energy to be perfect.
And how you're succeeding at this goal of being completely perfect in every single detail.
Well, you know, I used to do pretty well, I thought. But finding out, you know, it never was, to be honest with your answer, it never was something it was just, it had to be. It wasn't an option, so you continued to strive. And then at some point I reached areas that I couldn't be perfect and just wasn't capable physically, mentally, financially. And then I just started feeling more like a failure. So I have to focus on seeing the success and not the failure.
Well, focus on the failure for a moment and love yourself in the failure. So let's tap on the karate chop point, because that's the reversal point, which is probably involved here. And Even when I'm a failure,
even when I'm a failure.
I love and accept myself,
I love and accept myself,
especially when I'm a failure.
especially when I'm a failure.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
I give myself permission
Give myself permission
to be a complete failure
to be a complete failure
at everything I try.
at everything I try.
I still love and accept myself.
And I still love and accept myself. There's a lot of people that like that.
Okay, so let's look for some more legs you can work on
Okay.
in the next little while. So
Okay.
the nap, your brother was one.
Mhm. Let me
That.
learning to play clarinet,
Okay.
piano, several different musical instruments.
Think about the clarinet,
Okay.
just that one thing. Was there a certain lesson when you realized it was difficult, or
So I.
tap while you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I.
Actually, don't tap while you talk.
Okay.
No, be imperfect. Just don't do a thing I tell you to do. That's just really bad EFT.
If I'm going to mess up with something, I don't want it to be Let me mess up with something else, right? I didn't get to choose what I wanted to play. The clarinet was chosen for me, and I was actually, it was decided as a ninth grader that I was going to start, even though the rest of the kids started as a sixth grader. But I was expected to be as good as they were. So I would say the memory would be the first day of going into band, being 3 years behind everyone else, and being expected to pick that up and do exactly what everyone else had learned for years. So, I took it on, and I got half of the band period. I took lessons with one of the instructors, and everybody else got to be in the big class, and then I would halfway through switch over, so I split my time half and half. So so it took a lot of time for me to learn quickly, to catch up, and again, I never could get good enough. I was 3 years behind.
Right. And then that first day, you remember?
I remember the first day vividly, going in there and thinking everyone else had experience, and
Right.
and I walked in already behind and failing.
Right.
But I didn't have a choice. I had to go in there and
Right.
pick, this is the instrument, this is what you're going to do.
Right. So just take a breath and feel that. Where do you feel that in your body? Same place or different place?
More down here.
Okay.
I think I feel better about that one because there was a point in time I spoke up and said, I don't want to do the clarinet, I want to play drums.
Okay.
And so I took, because I'd learned piano, so I took that opportunity to say, I'm going to take a little power and I'm going to choose something a little different. So
Okay.
I feel a little better about that one, but it still brings back just the fact that everything seemed to be decided for me and I didn't give opinion.
Right. Yes. Good. Yeah. Yeah. And then there may be more than that first day as well.
Right,
Other
right,
events as well,
right.
and other aspects of the event. Who told you had to play the clarinet?
My mom.
Your mom.
Mhm.
Do you remember the moment she told you that, or?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
did. She clearly researched it, and it was the least expensive, and according to her, the easiest to learn.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was chosen.
So it's easiest to learn, and then you still couldn't learn it
Right. Right.
fast enough to catch up.
And I never thought about that till you just said it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can catch up, with this.
Right. Yeah. So your mom chose, and you remember clearly her telling you that.
And I remember kind of a different maybe aspect, because it's when you think about band, I think about the band hall. So when I turned 16, my mother took my grandmother's old wedding set, had a ring made had the ring made for me. And this sounds so awful to say, but I'm just going to say it because it's okay to say it. And she brought it up to the band hall and gave it to me and said, I took your grandmother's ring and had this ring made for you. And she took the diamond and cut it up into a lot of little chips, and I took the ring and I threw it across the room. And I said, "You've ruined it. You know, you didn't ask me if I wanted it torn apart." And so I just absolutely, when I was thinking about bed, I thought about throwing that across the bed top. Because again, somebody made a decision. And even though it was a beautiful gift and I should have accepted it, it didn't feel good to me. It felt like, part of me now talking about feels like I didn't know how to accept it, but I also resented it.
So as you talk about...
And I should have been nicer and not sabotage the gift.
Right, right. So as you talk about this, what's going on in your body? What are you feeling in terms of movement in your body, energy in your body, shifts in your body?
Actually, talking about it makes me feel like my circulation is going better. Instead of everything being bunched up, I feel like it's tingly and moving.
Right, yes. And that's why I asked. You seem to be just flowing with it more.
It's like I can talk about it now.
Right. Yeah, there are all those conflicting emotions to do with that event as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've given me permission to talk about it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't feel perfect when I threw the ring.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So there are all those different aspects of the ring event as well, and being mad, you know, asserting your power, and then not feeling good about that.
Right.
So.
And knew that wasn't the way I was supposed to behave.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
I was
Right.
supposed to be a good girl and just be grateful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and you were clearly shifting that moment to taking back more of your power, expressing yourself, having a voice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, I was trying to think. I mean, there's just so many I feel like I could go on and on and on. You know, a whole group of them having to do with a father who's an alcoholic, and so you always have to be on your P's and Q's. And I will tell you, again, by the time I was a teenager, I had no problem taking his drinks and pouring them down the sink and standing up because nobody would stand up. So again, I think I always had to pay the price for that. So even though I thought I was doing something right, I got in huge trouble for doing that, and I just didn't know how else to deal with him to try to get him to stop drinking. So I could have been 10, I could have been 12, I could have been 6, and I could have been 15.
Was there one time when you got in big trouble for pouring his drinks down the sink?
There was a particular time that he was really out of control, and I went and took my sister and I put her in our bedroom, and I barricaded something in front of the door, and he kept pounding on the door, and I was afraid he was going to break the door and come in, and so I put her in the closet, and I went out in the kitchen and I poured the whole bottle in the sink, and I was probably 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble. Not only my mom got really, really mad at me. She was home and she saw this happen, and she told me I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have provoked him. I shouldn't have. I should have been more respectful, and that he would have never really hurt us. And that I not only had I was in trouble, but I had also got her in trouble because she didn't stop me from, pouring his liquor down the sink.
Right, right. So as you've talked about this, what is your emotion right now?
Numb.
Numb, okay.
Yeah, just numb.
Yeah. And it's numb because it's overwhelming, there are too many events like that?
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying not to deal with all of them because there's a lot of them. So trying to isolate them to work through this exercise.
Let's do the 9 gammon again.
Okay.
One more time.
Okay.
Then we'll sneak away.
Okay.
So close your eyes and open them. Keeping your head steady, eyes hard down to the left, eyes hard down to the right. Keeping your head steady, eyes in a big circle all the way around as slowly as you can. You follow my finger here. Being blamed for things.
Being blamed for things.
Being held responsible for things.
Being held responsible for things.
Even though I was doing my best.
Even though I was doing my best.
I was doing my best.
I was doing my best.
It was never good enough.
It was never good enough.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even though doing my best.
Even though doing my best.
Was never good enough.
Was never good enough.
I was doing my best.
I was doing my best.
Trying my hardest.
Trying my hardest.
It was never good enough.
It was never good enough.
No matter how hard I try.
No matter how hard I try.
It's never enough.
It's never enough.
It's never good enough.
It's never good enough.
My mother.
My mother.
My father.
My father.
The people in my life.
The people in my life.
It's never good enough.
It's never good enough.
No matter how hard I try.
No matter how hard I try.
I try harder and harder and harder.
Try harder and harder and harder.
Harder and harder and harder.
Harder and harder and harder.
It's still not good enough.
Still not good enough.
No matter how hard I try.
No matter how hard I try.
It's never good enough.
It's never good enough.
Never good enough.
Never good enough.
No matter how hard I try.
No matter how hard I try.
I try so hard.
I try so hard.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
All the way to the edge of it. Try so hard.
Try so hard.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
No matter how hard I try.
No matter how hard I try.
It's never good enough.
It's never good enough.
Okay, hum. So, okay, count from 1 to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hum again. Take a breath. Do you feel any differently now in your chest and your center line?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I definitely recommend doing the line gamut quite a bit around those things as well as the events.
Okay.
So the events, one by one, the aspects of the events, also the line gamut for the whole package of events as well.
Okay.
So let's sneak away now.
Okay.
Tap your cutting sharp point and say out loud, there's lots of time for little Jalen.
There's lots of time for little Jalen.
For her to feel loved and to heal.
For her to feel loved and to heal.
There's lots of time for adult Jalen.
There's lots of time for adult Jalen.
To feel loved and to heal.
To feel loved and to heal.
She doesn't have to do it all right now.
She doesn't have to do it all right now.
Little Jalen doesn't have to do it all right now.
Little Jalen doesn't have to do it all right now.
There's lots of time for me to heal.
There's lots of time for me to heal.
At my own pace.
At my own pace.
In my own way.
In my own way.
I respect my process.
I respect my process.
I respect myself.
I respect myself.
I accept myself the way I am.
I accept myself the way I am.
And I give myself all the time to heal
And I give myself all the time to heal
that I need.
that I need.
There's no rush.
There's no rush.
I can take it slowly.
I can take it slowly.
I can be imperfect.
I can be imperfect.
I can keep sabotaging myself
I can keep sabotaging myself
for as long as I like.
for as long as I like.
I can take my growth as slowly as I like,
I can take my growth as slowly as I like,
or as fast as I like.
or as fast as I like.
The choice is up to me.
The choice is up to me.
I don't have to push myself.
I don't have to push myself.
I've been pushing myself all my life,
I've been pushing myself all my life.
pushing myself hard all my life.
Pushing myself hard all my life.
I let myself off the hook.
I let myself off the hook. Thank you.
Stay. You are officially off the hook, as of now. Forever.
I love being off the hook.
Yeah, see, putting yourself on the hook is the way you try and do the top dog, underdog thing, to try and force yourself, change, to do whatever you're trying to do.
Right.
And just an exhausting, self-defeating pattern. And letting yourself off the hook, you may worry, what would I be? I just totally fall apart if I didn't put all this pressure on myself. But actually, you have the strength and the wisdom to be just fine.
I believe that.
Yeah, I can see you do, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So, what number are you now in terms of general triggering?
Pretty low.
Pretty low,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty low.
Yeah. So you've
No,
touched,
I feel like it can wait.
yeah. So we've touched on a lot of different events and aspects here, and just slowly one by one, tap on them, let yourself grow. Don't take on too much at the same time. Be gentle on yourself. And really do be a loving person to yourself that you didn't get when you were a child.
Yeah, I guess I'm pushing me as much as they were pushing.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, probably a lot more. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Hopefully you got enough.